Oh my god! Hello guys! Hello guys! Welcome to my video or maybe a group video. Yes, because today... Let's go to the serious mode. Hello guys! Welcome to the vlog, and today we'll be talking about the healthcare economics. Yes, it is healthcare economics. You hear it right. In this vlog, you will understand how or why is it the healthcare economics so important, the meaning of it, and the parts of the healthcare economics, which is the market, the demands, the supplies, the efficiency, equity, etc. You know, economics is so wide, you know. I don't remember the right term of that, but you know, healthcare economics is so have so much topic. Yes. So first, we'll be talking about the principles of the healthcare economics. So let's go to the next report or my groupmate, Mr. Ramon. We'll be right back. I'll be right back.
And why is it important? Healthcare economics is a term used to describe the various factors that converge to influence the healthcare industry's cost and spending. As a field of study, healthcare economics seeks to understand the role that the individuals, healthcare providers, insurers, government agencies, and public and private organizations play in driving these costs. Healthcare economics can be approached from several perspectives depending on the specific challenge you're facing. For example, in the online course, Healthcare Economics, Harvard Medical School, faculty organized a discussion around 6 key areas. Number 1 is spending growth. Number 2 is role of the patient. Number 3 is role of the provider. Number 4 is the impact of risk and insurance. Number 5 is benefits design. Number 6 is payment reform. So, ba't ba natin kailangan pag-aralan yung healthcare economics? The economics that drive the healthcare industry are complex and require professionals to regularly balance seemingly conflicting goals. On the one hand, this mission to provide value to the patient by helping them live healthier, more meaningful lives. On the other, our responsibility to effectively manage revenues and costs. While it's obvious that for-profit hospitals, insurance companies, and other businesses have responsibility to their shareholders to turn a profit, even non-profit organizations operating within the space must effectively fund their operations or risk closing down. With this in mind, it's critical that the professionals across the entire health sector understand the economics that power it. Medical providers, administrators, healthcare policymakers, and even business leaders working outside the industry can benefit from understanding the economics. So, ngayon naman, discuss ko sa inyo, konti lang yung principles of health economics. So from a public health point of view, health economics is one of many disciplines that may be used to analyze issues of health and healthcare, specifically as one of the set of analytical methods labeled health services research. But from an economics point of view, health economics is simply one of many topics to which economic principles and methods can be applied. So, in describing the principles of health economics, we are really setting out the principles of economics and how they might be interpreted in the context of health and healthcare. As Morris, Devlin Partin, and Spencer put it, health economics is the application of economic theory, models, and empirical techniques to the analysis of decision-making by individuals, healthcare providers, and government with respect to health and healthcare. There are many different definitions of economics, but the definition given in a popular introductory textbook is instructive. The study of how society decides what, how, and for whom to produce in an analyzing these issues, health economics attempt to apply the same analytical method that would be applied to any good or service that the economy produce. However, it is also asked if the issues are different in the healthcare. So yung ibang topic guys, like under the principles of health economics, the notions of scarcity, supply and demand, distinction between need and demand, opportunity cost discounting, time horizons, margins, efficiency, and equity. Ang magdi-discuss na yung mga groupmates ko. So sana panoorin nyo. On to the next vlog.
Hello everyone! For today's video, I would like to share to all of you the principles of healthcare economics, including the production, resources, scarcity, and opportunity cost. The definition of economic includes that the terms are produced, emphasizing that economic deals with both health and healthcare as a good or service that is manufactured or produced.
Inputs to this productive process are resources such as personnel, often referred to as labor, equipment and buildings, often referred to as capital, land, and raw materials. The output of a process using healthcare inputs such as healthcare professionals, therapeutic materials, and clinics would be an amount of healthcare given quality that is provided. For example, environment in which production takes place, such as whether the clinic is publicly or privately owned.
The economy as a whole, there are not enough scarce resources to meet all of the wants that people have. So we have to choose which ones are met and which are not met. In the healthcare system, there are not enough healthcare resources to meet all of the health needs that people have. So we have to choose which needs are met and which are not met. An assertion of economics is that scarcity and the resulting necessity to choose between different uses for production resources applies everywhere in the economy and cannot be avoided. Last in economics usually means opportunity cost. This concept is quite different to the familiar idea of financial cost, which is the cost of goods, services, and scarce resources in terms of money that must be paid to obtain them. That's for all for today's discussion. Let's move on for the next video. Bye!
Hello, I'm back after my groupmates did their part. So it's time that I will be talking about my part, which is related, of course, to healthcare economics. We'll be talking about the markets, demands, and supply. Yes. So, as stated in our definition of economics, which relates to the, how society makes decisions. Economics is a social science. Yes, it is social science. Although people make collective decisions on what, how, and whom to create, most modern economics do it mainly through markets, including the interactions of those who want to purchase, or the consumers, and those who want to sell, or the sellers. There is a theory that connects to the market, and it is called a price theory. Yes, it is. A price theory is a primary method used by economists to study markets. Yes, a market connects the consumer demands for commodities with the supplies of those items from suppliers. Consumers and providers make purchases and sell products based on the price they must pay or will get. And as a result, price serves as a signal to both parties, indicating what they should do in the market. Like, if the price is lower, consumers will want to purchase more. And of course, if the price is higher, providers will want to sell more. And of course, the suppliers will be unable, to sell everything they want if their prices are too high. Of course, only few providers will buy that product because, they can, buy it because they have money. But, only few providers only, and you can be bankrupt if only few providers. That's why in a marketing strategy, of course, we have to, lower the price. We need to lower the price so that many providers will buy again. And to the consumers will be, unable naman to purchase whatever they want if the product or the prices are too low naman. Like for example, if we will be connected in a healthcare economics, like in medicines, in a drugstore, like right now, many people are having a fever, or that's what you call a trangkazo, whatever, or trangkazo, right? Many people will come to the drugstore and looking for some medicines that have a low price, like the most medicine that buy is the Biogesic and the Bioflu, and you want to buy that, but many people are there buying for that medicine also, so there's a chance that you can buy, right? So having a low price, we need to, if you want to buy some low prices thing, we should, buy faster, right? And of course, as a result, buyers may place higher bids, or suppliers may pursue the opportunity to raise their prices while selling all of their inventories. They're slowly highing the price since that product is the most demanding product the people want. So, of simple observable signs such as excess demand or supplies decide how much of an item or service is sold at what price. So this simple model of a good market illustrates one matter which society determines who to create for. Consumers can receive things if they are willing and able to pay for them. Of course, the more their willingness and ability, the more they may consume. High demands, even at a high cost, reflects a strong willingness and capacity to pay, signaling the providers that they should offer more. As a result, limited resources are allocated to creating items with high demand rather than those, with lower customer desire and capacity to pay. Such commodities are in a reduced demand and having cheaper pricing. As a result, this demonstrates how markets pick what to produce and for whom. And if we also believe that the suppliers desperately want to make money as soon as possible from what they sell, of course, everyone wants money. So we may expect that they, want to keep the manufacturing costs low by using the most efficient techniques. As a result, markets have a role in determining how, what, and for whom things are created for. And of course, I believe that the actual economy is significantly more complicated than this. And no economist would claim that this simplistic model really describes reality. But the point is that markets do not result in, random distribution of scarce resources, rather in one that is determined by the incentives offered by pricing the economic players, both consumers and producers. And of course, the next one we'll be talking about is the demand for healthcare and demands of health and need. Of course, we will be interested in the demand for healthcare if we are, thinking about the healthcare markets. When examining these needs, of course, it's vital to remember that healthcare has unique qualities that set it apart from, the other items. One aspect is that healthcare is rarely requested because it is enjoyable and of itself. In fact, of course, it can be rather unpleasant. Instead, it is mostly demanded to improve one's health. As a result, even if the healthcare is unpleasant in and of itself, it leads more pleasure than would otherwise be the case. So there is a question. And the question is there a demand for health improvements if health treatment is solely requested to enhance health? Well, for me, I believe that health considered be a good. In fact, a basic commodity is critical to people's well-being, resulting in a need for improvements. Health shares certain features with more traditional goods. It can be made, it is desired, and people are prepared to pay everything for, improvements. And it is a rare comparison to people's desire for it. However, it doesn't have a one-to-one relationship with demand for healthcare since while health is influenced by healthcare, it is also influenced by many factors and impacts all areas of well-being, not only healthcare. Because of its quality, health is even more distinctive than healthcare. It's less substantial. The most other products can be traced and can be transmitted from one person to the next. But some other disease may. Healthcare theory basically distinguishes between a want, which means a desire to consume something, and the other one is the effective demand, which means the one stack up. The one stack up and is the willingness and capacity to pay for it. Instead of want, effective demand is the determinant of resource allocation in a market. However, the issue is more difficult in the case of healthcare because many individuals feel that what matters in healthcare is not wishes or demands, but it is a need. Healthcare economics, it often defines that the healthcare needs have the ability to profit from it, thereby linking healthcare needs to health improvements requirements. Not all desires are requirements, and vice versa. For example, a person may desire nutrition supplements, although they will not enhance their health, or they may not want to go to dentist, even though it will improve their dental health. So the conclusion for that is that the demand for healthcare may be evaluated as if it were any other item or services. Still includes characteristics that may indicate that the standard assumptions about the market resource allocation effects are false. Furthermore, consumers may want resource allocation based on health demand or healthcare needs, neither of which can be met in a traditional market. So the last topic we will be talking about is the supply. So in healthcare economics, the side supply of the market is examined in two distinct but connected approaches. One is connected to the above-mentioned resource input and good output model, which examines how resources, consumption, cost, output are associated inside a corporation. Some of the concerns that it raises affects production efficiency, which will be covered further down. Others include things like, economies of scale. For example, are there any cost savings from having a larger general practice? For example, efficiency, how many surgical producers can the hospital offer if it hires an extra nurse? And in factor substitutions, for example, can allowing dental hygienists to do specific duties instead of dentists reduce the cost of providing dental care? So there is a so-called market structure in another way of looking supply. So there is a question: how many businesses are providing a market, and how do they act in terms of determining prices, productions, and profit margins? Okay, so in market structure has two well-known theoretical extremes. Perfect competition has a large number of enterprises in markets. So no one has, any real economic power. No one generates any profits, and prices and productions are as low as they can be. A monopoly is characterized by the presence of just one entity with significant market power, the ability to generate a huge profits as possible, and high prices and reduce output. Other fall somewhere in the middle. These models may be used to examine the behavior of some healthcare businesses, such as pharmaceutical, foods, suppliers of services such as dentistry, ophthalmology treatments, pharmaceutical dispensing, and for-profit insurance company. Other organizations may find it more challenging. However, they may give some useful information. For example, the regulations of the UK provider sector is increasingly influenced by the use of market factors such as contestability to provide some efficiency measures. And that will be all. That is, the healthcare economics in the markets, demands, and supplies. And again, my name is Roffer, the prettiest one in the group. Char. So let's move on to the next report. My queen, my bestie. Bye.
Hello everyone, in this video I would like to share to all of you the principles of healthcare economics, including incremental and marginal analysis. Economic analysis many activities we afforded marginal, which is a special case of what is called incremental analysis. Incremental analysis means that the effects of changes in the use of resources according to how they differ from current use. Incremental values of economic variables often gives a better view of the issues faced in decision-making. For example, how much costs and benefits are increased or decreased due to a change in resource use than the costs and benefits after exchange. Marginal analysis is defined as a change in economic variable that is caused by the smallest of other variables and set on circumstances. For example, the marginal cost of a good or service is defined as the extra cost by producing one more kilometer. That's all. Thank you, and to the next reporter.
Hey guys, welcome back to our vlog. So for today's video, I will be discussing the efficiency of healthcare economics. So efficiency measures whether healthcare resources are being used to get the best value for money. In healthcare economics, efficiency refers to either obtaining the greatest health benefit from interventions using the available resources or achieving a given health benefit in a way that minimizes cost of resource use. A distinction is often made between technical efficiency and allocative efficiency. So, technical efficiency concerns how best to achieve a single given objective. So for example, paano isasagawa ang isang pamamaraan tulad ng coronary artery bypass graft or CABG. Syempre, para makamit ang pinakamaganda na resulta para sa mga pasyente. Alternatively, how can a CABG be successfully performed by making the best use of the resource inputs? Syempre, kailangan ng mga gamot and follow-up care sa mga pasyente. We proceed to allocative efficiency. So, allocative efficiency concerns competing objectives which may not all be capable of implementation. So, for example, of allocative efficiency. Should we expand the use of CABG to a new group of patients, or should we invest in a new screening programmer for patients at risk of coronary artery disease? Opportunity cost is a key concept in making judgment about allocative efficiency, often represented in health technology assessment by a willingness to pay threshold. That's all.
Thank you. My name is Andrea from BSPN 1A. So this will be the last lesson that will be discussed in our topic. So the last is equity. Equity is always an important condition for allocation of resources. However, it is observable that people attach more importance to equity in health and healthcare than they do to many other goods and services. Equity is more important policy objective in almost healthcare system in the world. So another term of equity is fairness. So in healthcare context, this means is a fair distribution of health and healthcare between people and fairness in the burden of financing healthcare. Equality means an equal distribution, but it might not always be fair to be equal. For example, it might be
be thought to be unfair, but healthy and sick people are given equal almost a healthcare. However, equity is often defined with respect to equality and inequality. For example, it might be considered equitable that people who have an equal need for healthcare should have equal access to it. So I'll give two more examples of equity. So, equal use of health service or equal needs for healthcare. Another, equal use of health service or equal willingness to pay for health service. So another distinction of equity is, which also has in philosophy, between horizontal equity and vertical equity. So first, what is horizontal equity? So horizontal equity is an economic theory that states that individuals with similar income and assets should pay the same amount of taxes. Another term or another meaning of horizontal equity is equal treatment of equals. For example, what you give is what you get, like that. I'll flash some example of horizontal equity. And the next is vertical equity. So, what is the meaning of vertical equity? Vertical equity means method of collecting income tax in which the tax paid increase which the most of earned income. So another term of vertical equity is unequal treatment of unequals. So it's just like opposite of horizontal equity, like that. So I will present another picture of example of vertical equity. So it's like a rich people pay more than middle class people, then the middle class people pay more than poor people. Another, a key element of defining equity is specifying what is that to be fairly distribution between people, sometimes called is distribution. In an example above, possible candidates were given as use of health service, health outcomes, healthcare payments, and expenditure. So more generally, equity means that three areas are commonly considered as a possible object of equitable distribution is health, healthcare, and the last is finance of healthcare. So that is the cover of equity. So let's review the principle of health economics. The first one is 1.1, reproduction, resources, scarcity, and opportunity cost. 1.2, markets, demand, and supplies. 1.3, incremental analysis and the margin. And the last one is 1.4, efficiency and liquidity. That's all, thank you.
Hello! You see me again. You've come so far. You come to this final part of the video with this the prettiest one. Okay, I know some students will, reach this part of the final part. But in this is the most important part of that video, because there is a secret that I want to tell to each and every one of you, and that is, I'm so pretty. Let's censor that. Oh my god, if someone saw this, if someone reached this video. But I have a special message to my instructor. If she reached this part, I'm so thankful for you for making us understand the basic microeconomics, even though we barely meet each other, or you teach barely to us, but I'm secretly doing my best. Yeah, I've been searching for some topics about the basic microeconomics. I'm putting a lot of effort for it. Yeah, and I'm so thankful for you, because you've been so serious when it comes to teaching, and I want that. Thank you for everything. Thank you for this semester. If you see this, just try to comment if I post it in a YouTube. And I really appreciate it if you come so far at this part of the video. And thank you for everyone, and to the watcher, thank you for everything. See you soon, guys, and that will be all, and thank you.